Hi there, Miranda Alt here with Keller Williams Success Real Estate and the Miranda Alt team with your Monday market update for Monday, March 11th, 2024. Thanks for watching. How is it already in the middle of March? I don't know how this happens, but the time just seems to be flying by. This year has been so great. This winter has been so easy for us here in the Midwest. And so the time is just clipping along. We are seeing our spring market starting early right now with the nice weather. We've had definitely some crazy activity in our housing market. Let's take a quick look at our Montgomery County numbers to kind of see what exactly is going on. We got a lot to go over today. For new listings, we have 113 new listings. That is not a lot, not enough. We had 137 go under contract, so way more under contract than we had newly listed, 72 closed sales, 24 price changes, 39 currently on the private network, and only one expired. So to give you some sort of perspective on what these numbers mean, let's look at 2023 numbers and 2022. So if you look at these numbers comparatively speaking, we really do have very, very low inventory. And I know buyers that are out there are like, there's nothing to choose from. There's just not a lot on the market. And is it going to get any better? I will say just today, I got 2 more calls of people wanting to sell their house this year. They're not sure they're going to get it on the market soon, but they're going to do it this year for sure. So I am anticipating a very busy 3rd and 4th quarter, just so you know. Spring's been a little rough in terms of very slim pickings. This week in 2023, we had 144 new listings. This week, again, only 113. In 2022, we had 174. That means 30 less homes to pick from 2022 to 2023, and then another 30 less from 2023 to 2024. So we're down about 60 new homes if you're comparing it to 2022, which remember in 2022, we sold 5.2 million homes, which is a great number to be at for our population growth. You know, in 2021, we saw 6.1 million. That was a great number. 2021 was like the greatest real estate year we'd had in a long time. So I don't expect us to get back to 2021 numbers, but 2022 was a great year, 5.2 million homes. We do not anticipate selling more than 4.3 million homes nationwide this year. So it's going to be lower. It's going to be a lot like 23. It's going to be tough. We are not going to have a ton to choose from, but I think hopefully maybe 3rd and 4th quarter will hold some surprises for us. But getting back to these numbers. So in 2023, we had 144 new listings. We had 139 go under contract. That's almost the same as we saw go under contract this week, this year. So we had 30 less new homes listed, but we had almost the same number go under contract. That's why it feels like there's just nothing out there. In 2022, we had 167 go under contract with 174 newly listed. So, you know, not as much of a discrepancy. And remember, we're in March, so this is still the early part of our market. We're still just rounding out the 1st quarter, which is typically slow around here. Closed sales, and those don't really affect what's going on very much, but we had more closed sales in 2023 and 2024. We had 128 closed sales this week in 2022. I guarantee those title companies out there are feeling the pinch there. So basically, it's just low inventory. Again, I know you've heard this a million times. Let's take a look at the numbers. We had all of our February numbers come out this last week, so we can look at those for our area and figure out kind of what's happening with sales prices and month supply, days on market, and all that stuff. So taking a first look at average sales prices for single family homes in Crystal Lake, prices are up 8.5% year over year to $381,000. That is our average sales price of a single family home in Crystal Lake. That's higher than it's probably ever been. In Lake in the Hills, they're up 7.3% year over year to $327,000. Algonquin is up 8.3% to $385,000. Cary is up 1.1% to $339,000. Again, those are average sales prices for those particular areas for single family homes. Month supply. So this is how many months would it take to sell out of whatever is currently listed if nothing else got listed. A fair and balanced market is 4 to 6 months inventory. We are well below that right now. So the average, in Crystal Lake, we're holding steady at about 1.2 months inventory. Very, very low. In Lake in the Hills, we've got about 11 months. It's up 11% to 1 month's inventory. Still only 1 month's inventory in Lake in the Hills. We've got 1.4 months inventory in Algonquin. That's up 27% year over year. So that's a lot more than we had last year. In Cary, it's at 0.9 months inventory. That's up about 18% from last year. So we've got just very low inventory. The fact that it's almost not even measurable, the differences. I mean, 0.9 months inventory, 1.4, 1 month's inventory. I mean, it's just not enough. Hopefully, again, this will improve as the months tick by. Days on market are pretty steady at about 30 days across the board, which historically speaking is very low. Because remember, that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's all homes are selling in an average of 30 days. Now, you might know your neighbor's house might have sold in 4 days. Most of my listings sell in about 4 days as well. So this is average. So some of those averages are going to be brought down by those homes that are priced too high, because we are seeing some of that too. We are seeing homes that are like, hey, prices are up. I'll see if I can get 100,000 more than I should. No, that's not going to happen. So we are seeing some of that. What are homes selling for? What percentage of their original list price? In Crystal Lake, it's 99.4% of their list price. So you've got to think about when you're pricing a home, you've got to think that if I'm looking at a comp that sold at 250, if that house was listed at 225, well, then that price that triggered the sale is 225,000. I can't then use that comp as 250 for my house. I can for a sale price once I go into meeting with an appraiser, but I have to think about what is the price that's going to trigger the sale. So some homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer, and some homes are having to do price reductions because they priced too high, because they priced based on, oh, well, that house sold 2 months ago for 250. So I'm going to price my house at 275 because prices are going up. You can't do that. You're going to sit on the market and you're going to be overpriced. You're not going to generate multiple offers, and you're not going to get prices. You're not going to get enough attention. You're not going to get enough people through your home. And so that's why we are seeing some price reductions in some homes sitting on the market for a little bit longer, because if they're pricing according to, Joe Schmo that sold down the street and their house was, priced at a point that they got 10 offers, well, then that drove their price up. And you've got to think, homes are selling on average for over list price. Again, in Crystal Lake, it's 99.4% of the list price. Lake in the Hills is 101% of the list price. Algonquin is 100.6% of the list price. Cary's 99.4%. So what is a buyer thinking? Well, most buyers are looking at a home that's listed at 250 and going, okay, well, I'm going to have to offer 260 at least to get that home under contract. There's no way I'm going to get it for 250. I'm going to have to offer 10,000 over. So obviously, if that's what buyers are thinking, you have to market your home according to what the buyer is thinking, not just what you want for your house. That has to come into play, of course, but you have to think about the strategy involved and what are buyers thinking. Buyers are anticipating a multiple offer situation because that's happening with almost every house out there right now. Average showings per listing is about 10 to 15. We're seeing about 10 to 15 showings per listing. And we are seeing those homes sell that are priced right. They're selling very quickly. So you've got to be careful if you're listing your home where you're listing it at to be strategic. So prices are holding really, really strong. They're going to continue to go up. I think as the spring goes on, I think we're going to see more and more of these multiple offer situations. I don't know that the inventory is going to get a whole lot better. And then I talk to some people who are like, oh, I'm just going to wait. Well, then you have to prepare yourself to wait 5 to 10 years, because the only way we're getting new inventory is by builders building. What creates new inventory is not me selling my house and buying another house. That does not create inventory. That creates transactions. They are not the same. What creates new inventory is a builder putting a shovel in the ground and putting up a house that I can move into. That creates inventory. We have a lot of new household formations, and so we have to keep up with that. So a household formation is when, Jimmy decides it's time to move out of his parents' basement and get his own house. That's a household formation. Or, Jim and Sally are married and decide they're going to split up. That's a household formation because they went from one house to 2 houses. So you've got to think about what a household formation is, because that indicates or impacts the demand. And then you have to think about what creates inventory. Just a sale of a house is not inventory. It might create more to look at, but it's not creating inventory and solving our problem. We need builders to build in order to create more inventory. Or when people die, that also creates more inventory. We do have an aging population. We do have a lot of people moving into nursing homes. That will also create inventory, but we don't want to wish those things on people. So let's just get builders to build. But if you're going to wait for more inventory, you're going to be waiting a very long time. You could be waiting upwards of 5 to 10 years around here. In other parts of the country, they're building more, like in Texas, Arizona, Florida. They're building much faster than they are here. So we are still having a major inventory problem. So if you're thinking you're just going to wait, I think you need to think about how long you're willing to wait. And if you're waiting, number one, what are you waiting for? And number two, while you wait, what else is going to happen in our economy? And likely prices are going to continue to go up. And we could see, I know interest rates, you think they're bad now, but they could go up, couldn't they? Last year in January, people thought they were the worst they were going to get when they were at 5%. They're now at almost 7. So you got to think about those things. Now, speaking about interest rates, we do have a CPI reading tomorrow morning for February. Estimates are that it's going to go from about 3.9% to about 3.7%. So it should come down a little bit, the inflation reports, but we've had very strong job reports. Now, there were strong job reports in December and January, and those numbers have since been revised. So even if we get more strong job reports, which we already have, if they end up getting revised, then they're all very misleading. So as of right now, according to the feds, the economy is doing well. Inflation is still too high, so they're trying to bring that down, which means they are not going to be bringing interest rates down anytime soon. So buckle up, folks. If you want to buy a house, rip off that Band-Aid and just do it. I don't think waiting is going to get you anywhere that you want to go. I'm Miranda Alt with Keller Williams Success Real Estate and the Miranda Alt team. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Monday. Get out and enjoy this beautiful weather. Thanks for watching. Bye.